What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, you guys? Come on in the room. What's up, you guys? How y'all doing today? Come on in the room. Come on in the room. My name is Ashley Denmark. This is Antonia Denmark. We are your trainers. We are your coaches. We have been exactly where you are. And our goal is to help more people like you get off the sidelines and get into the game when it comes to real estate, when it comes to investing. You ready, Tanya? You want to say hey real quick? If you guys are watching live, make sure you put hashtag live in the chats. If you are watching this on replay, make sure you put replay in the chats. And y'all come on in the room. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Man, I am super excited. I'm super excited today. Who's on with us right now? If you are on with us, let us know. Type it in the chat so that we know. I'm gonna pull it up on my end so I can see the chat. But let's freaking go. How you feeling, Tonio? What's up, Keisha? What's up, Miss Carr? Yeah, so I can see. Hey, Amy. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, Tamika. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. So look, if you are by chance you're catching the replay, that's cool too. We want you to put hashtag replay in the chat and let's make sure we do it. Absolutely, Sean. Yes, you'll get it. I think the live stays available for a few days before Facebook automatically deletes it. So absolutely, absolutely. Hey, Joy. Let's go. Let's go. Tanya, you want to talk about anything first?
Nope.
Nope. You're boycotting.
Yeah.
You're excited. You want to tell them about me?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. All right. Let's do it. Let's do it. Tashiana is joining us in the next few minutes. But as Tashiana joins us, I want to make sure you guys are connected to the AI Wealth Builder Summit. Get on the wait list. Join it now if you haven't already. Tickets are free for the wait list. The first 2 days are free. The third day is VIP day. But we're going to be teaching you how to find, fund, rehab your deals, all while using AI. All right. We're going to give you what we have been using when it comes to using AI to invest in real estate. All right. We have been testing this, we've been building this, and we are excited to share it. You going to say something? You thought of something?
What the fun part?
You're telling them or
No,
us?
I'm telling
Because
you.
they hear you.
I know. They can hear me. But the fun part, be able to create the deal packet.
Not really sure, but I'm sure you'll explain it to me. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Make sure you go to www.thedenmark.us/summit. Get on the wait list. Get your free tickets by joining the wait list. And let's go. All right. How you feeling, Tony?
I was good.
You're
but
good.
I'm not good
You're gonna share your water today?
No.
No. What's up, Lulu? What's up? What's up? What's up? I think Tashi is getting herself ready. I see her at the bottom, but her camera isn't on just yet. Oh, I'm adding you, Tashi. I got you. What's up, Tashi?
Can you hear me?
I hear you now. Yay. How are you today?
Good and sleepy. I don't know why I volunteered to take my daughter and her friends to Bible study at 7 a.m. this morning, but I did that, so that meant I had to get up way early, and I had been traveling, so I've been back in Tennessee for less than 24 hours. Motherhood calls.
Motherhood calls. That's right. Tashiana, for the people who don't know you, tell them who you are.
Um, I'm Tatiana. Like, look, right now I got Tashi because people have been messing up my name lately. So, I'm Tashi, and I'm a mama and do real estate investing, and I specialize in coaching and transitional housing. And I've been doing this, oh man, for a long time is what I'll say. I've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah. So look, and I feel like Antonio gets your name wrong, but I feel like he has gotten to the point where he just feel like because you're his homegirl, it's okay to say your name wrong. That's what I think. What you think? Because he don't call you Tashi.
Mm, I,
He say Tati.
yeah, he do,
There's
he
no
do,
extra
and
T.
I just let it ride.
And you
I love it.
respond
But you know
every
what is so funny? I have a friend whose mom, she did that. She would like call me for my friend, and she'll be like, "Hey, this is mom," and she'll be like, "Hey, Tati," and I love her. And she passed away, so I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's cool. It works.
time. That's why you respond. Because it's probably been about 2 or 3 years and Antonio say Tati.
I mean, what's the
Yep,
problem?
Tati.
I don't even know the
He'd be
issue.
like, he'd be like, Tati. When he put the hand out, I know he's serious. Tati. I know he's
Oh
serious.
my
I'd be
goodness.
like, okay,
All right, so I got a question.
okay.
What is transitional housing?
I define it as housing for people who are in transition. Look, y'all, I don't try to overcomplicate it. It's literally for people who are in transition. So whether they're in transition from incarceration, survivors of domestic violence, veterans, aged out of foster care, those are people that are in transition from one situation to a solid situation.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Santi, you were going in and out just a little, but for the people who may have not heard it all, transitional housing is for people who are transitioning from one stage of life to the next stage of life. All right.
Can y'all hear me better now? Is it better now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot better. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna lean in. That's what
All
you
right.
gotta do.
So
Just
say what
lean in.
transitional housing is again then.
So it's just simply for people who are in transition, from one set of circumstances to the next. So whether that's formerly incarcerated, so they're leaving prison, coming home, survivors of domestic violence, veterans, or young people aging out of foster care. Those would all fit, transitional housing.
Why?
I,
Why?
I was
I
just
guess
thinking that,
why this niche? How did you stumble upon it? Where
yeah.
did it come from?
So it came from when I started like a while ago. When I say a while ago, like when I first started real estate, some of my first tenants were people who were formerly incarcerated. So they're like renting the whole entire house. And I didn't understand why they couldn't get somebody to rent to them. And it was simply because they had a felony on their background. It wasn't a big deal to me because I'm thinking like just communicate, right? So from there, I just started to learn that there was a bigger need. There was a gap between that person getting permanent housing, like from a landlord like me, from when they came home. So that's the cool thing about transitional housing. You get to choose like where on someone's journey you want to come in and fill the gap. And so then when I learned like, you mean to tell me I can get paid per bed, like per person, and more people like aren't doing this, and a lot of times the people who are doing this, they're not doing it well, they're not doing it efficiently because it's a numbers game for them. I really wanted to serve people. I was like, it's a no-brainer to do. You're getting paid per bed. You understand? Like per bed.
Okay, well, tell me more. Okay. So, who's paying you? Let's start there. Who's paying you?
Okay, so it depends, right? So for us, oftentimes we get it exactly from the member, and I'm gonna tell you why we call them a member, and then also from organization. But if you want to take it a step further and you want to work directly with DOC, which is the Department of Corrections, or BOP, which is the Bureau of Prisons, then they'll pay you directly. And sometimes people's probation officers and parole officers, they are able to give them a voucher or a stipend to help offset that cost when they're first coming home, right? So you have government, which is the DOC, BOP who will pay. Sometimes the member themselves will pay you, and then sometimes other organizations. And when I say other organizations, think like Urban League or other reentry or transitional programs that necessarily don't provide the housing, but they might provide assistance to pay for the housing. HOPWA is a big one. And then you have churches that will help out. Some churches have resources allotted for that because they don't provide the housing themselves. So you can get money from a few different spots.
That's a
Okay,
lot.
so I hear you say per bed. So I guess is it like when you are doing like a per room rental? Is that kind of what it's like? Like I'm renting out efficiencies almost per room?
So you can, and it depends, which is why I say there's like levels to it. So you have like level one, and it's just like my program, my framework. So different people might call it something else. But like level one is when someone's first coming out of that transitional phase. So in this case, obviously they're just being released from prison. Right? In that situation, you may have a single occupant room with one bed, but oftentimes because people really want a place to go and they really need a place to go, we will do two people per room. So oftentimes that first level of housing has mixed where we have some one bedrooms that only have one bed, but then we might have another bedroom in there that has two beds. And personally, I say this often, can't say it enough, I do not put grown adults in bunk beds because again it's per bed. So you have some people who provide housing, they will put two sets of bunk beds in one bedroom, so they got four people in there because they're being paid per bed. Don't do that. Don't do that. um Clearly it can be done because people are getting paid to do this. We don't do this. We don't put any more than two people in a room, and that's for first tier housing. Once people move to second tier, then they do get their own private bedroom. And we call that, now that everybody's using this term, because it's just names, you can call it whatever you want to, but that's transformative co living. So everybody in that space is just as impacted, and when we say just impacted, that means they have had some level of contact with the carceral system, whether they're on probation or parole, or they actually are formally incarcerated. But now they are gainfully employed, or they're earning income, or they have someone covering where they're staying, and so we'll move them there. And it's like an interdependent model. So think almost like short-term, mid-term rental as far as like the setup. Like we provide them services where they're getting their space, their common area, professionally cleaned once per month. We have like house events where people in the community can come in, cook a meal. There's just so many things that you can do, but it all makes money. And when you have the right model, then what's going to happen? Well, one, people aren't going to want to leave, but they're going to tell a friend to tell a friend. And then now we're in a position like now where we're like talking to more investors, like we need more spaces.
Right.
So, yeah.
I can definitely see a need for it. I can definitely see where churches can benefit from it a lot. Well,
Yes.
anybody can really benefit from it. But I can definitely see the need. I see your brain turning
So how
red.
much are we talking like? Are we talking like they pay like $100 per bed? Like
On average.
No, so this is why I tell people to use the numbers because you can't go wrong with this, although the numbers are high. And the last time I did our numbers, we're averaging about 686 per bed. But if you just, because I'm not like a math whiz, but I can do even numbers really well. So if you just do $500 per bed, that can kind of give you like an idea if that makes sense. But like I said, we don't have any beds that we we rent out for $500. But that's just a good baseline because it's like, oh, okay, well, $500, and I have four bedrooms, so that's $2,000 a month right there if you only put one person in a room. So then you want to look, well, if I rented this to a single family, Would I be able to get this $2,000 a month? Sometimes, but likely not. You're probably more like 1,500. Now, if you take two of those bedrooms and you add two more people, now you're at $3,000 because you just added an additional $500 by adding two beds. 500 times two is $1,000. So now a house that you generally could have rented for like $1,500 to one family, and it's helping, right? Now you can double that, and you're serving. And if you are a nonprofit or you partner with a nonprofit, now you also have a tax benefit. See, it just makes sense to me. I don't know. It just makes sense to me.
Okay, so you telling me I am a numbers person. So you're telling me if I got a 4 bedroom house and I'm putting two people in each room,
I already see y'all minds
I'm
being
about
blown
a
in the chat.
$1,000 per room.
Uh-huh.
So you're telling me I can roughly make a gross profit of $4,000 a month per house?
And because I'm very, very conservative, and y'all know why, because y'all are helping me on my whole borrowing money to buy. So I'm always very conservative with my numbers, right? So think about this. We have a house right now that we just brought on. So we used $500 for the numbers, but because of the area and the amenities, we're charging 750. You see what I'm saying? So it's not quite the $1,000 that I would have gotten if I put two people in there, but that's 750, and then the double occupancy beds charging 625. So, and that is a four bedroom. And people are like, well, people gonna pay 625. Absolutely, because it's affordable and like,
Oh, oh my goodness. Okay, let's as Tashi gets back on, I see it was dropping. You want to recap what she was just
Recap what
saying?
she's saying. All right.
Yeah.
So what she's saying is she does transitional house. And transitional houses is anybody that's coming from one circumstance to another. Whether that's you in a domestic relationship situation, whether you are coming out of prison, whether you're aging out of foster care, um, that's what she's really doing. One that I believe that she really, really likes is the coming out of prison phase. I think there's more programs and things for those people. And basically, what she's doing is she's taking a 4 bedroom house, putting two people per room, and charging easy numbers $500 per bed. So she's making $1,000 per room in her 4 bedroom house. To where that house would probably
well,
rent for 12 to $1,500 to a single family living. In her model, it's renting for $4,000 minimum, and that's just easy numbers to calculate for the training today.
So somebody asked Tashi in the chat, they said, are you paying for the utilities or are they paying it? Tashi, you can hear us? Tashi, there you go. Can you see us?
You back?
She says she can't
I can
see
see
us.
y'all. I can see y'all now. It's like, hey, they just kicked me out. Jeez.
So look, somebody asked in the chat, who's paying for the utilities? Are you paying for the utilities?
Yeah, we pay for the utilities, and I mean, so far they haven't been anything exorbitant. Just because a lot of times you have to think people they're home, but they're not home. Especially if you're doing the transitional housing for people just coming home, and even I think even in the interim because they're at work, they have programs they have to attend. Like when they're on probation, parole, those types of things. Oftentimes they have things they have to meet, so nobody's sitting up in the house. Another thing that we don't do, we don't provide any TV. Like this is not that. We want you to be home and comfortable. But again, the goal is because ultimately as a real estate investor is to transition you out. Now we don't rush people. And I think I said it before, the longest resident that we've had is 18 months. But right now we're averaging people staying with us between 9 and 11 months. And I don't know how that's going to change with the way things are going now. But we do cover the utilities, absolutely. So I tell people you can do, and you know your area, you know how your utility company operates. Once you take your gross profits for those types of things, safe numbers, I say anywhere between 20 and 25%. Sometimes it's a little bit more, sometimes it's a little bit less. And the other thing that can help you with this is the maximum for every one bathroom you want to have. You don't want to have any more than four people, right? You don't
Okay.
want to have
Okay.
any more than four people.
All right. Another question from the chat. Y'all keep it coming. Who's responsible for their food?
They are responsible for their food. Now, again, this is something that we do. You don't have to do that, but they're responsible for their food. And the reason why I like reentry is just because it's something I'm passionate about. I'm well versed in it. But when people, we talk about that level one housing, when they first come home, again, we don't know how this is going to change, but I'm just saying what is so now. People are available, they can get SNAP benefits. Even if that goes away, you have food pantries that are allocated to people and resources. We have a partnership with a farmer's market in the area of one of our houses where they will take the person's order because they understand that a lot of people don't have transportation, and they will deliver the groceries. And for people who do have SNAP benefits, they match. So say they spend $20 on fruits and vegetables, and they'll give them another $20 on fruits and vegetables. So they are absolutely responsible for their meals. But again, we try to help and support them because in addition to the investor side of things, I have a nonprofit, so that's one of the services that we offer. And I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but in the co-living type spaces, we have like community opportunities for people who volunteer and support. If a member's family member wants to come in, they can come in, they can make a meal or bring a meal. And the cool thing about that is it just lets people have the conversation to know, like, oh, okay, like this is cool. People are getting help. At one of our places, we had like a neighborhood barbecue where a gentleman next door was like such a butthead, like a really big butthead when he found out the type of people that would be staying there. When I say the type of people, like formerly incarcerated, and just from going over there and talking and building that relationship, he ended up doing like the person being on the grill, right? So we do that, one, because it also helps our members. Sometimes they have found jobs or other avenues to resources they need, like permanent housing, because it's a conversation, right? So that is something we do. But they are responsible for their food, but we'll help as much as we can.
All right. I want to know more because you keep throwing out this word loosely saying our members. Like what's a member?
So a member for us, our organization, when they stay with us, and this is specifically for like the co-living transformative housing model, and this is something that we've adopted because you don't want to think about it. I think right now our largest space, it has 11 bedrooms. We only use 10 of them. It's a mix of single and double beds, but altogether there's 15 beds in that space. Okay, so you don't want to have
Wait,
to
Hold
think.
on,
go
hold on,
back, go
hold on,
back,
hold
go
on, hold
back,
on,
go
hold
back,
on,
go back.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Say that space again. 11 bedrooms.
Yes, 11 bedrooms, but we use 10 of them for people to actually sleep in, and then it's a mix of single and double occupancy beds. So altogether, we have 15 beds in there. That makes sense.
Okay, let's do that numbers, y'all. So we're gonna take 15 times 500. What we got? Put it in
Just,
the chat.
just, and just use the basis of 500.
Yeah, we just starting with 500. It may be 680, 725. How basic.
7,500.
What? A month? They were supposed to tell me that, Tanya, not you. You
I'm
got
sorry, you
excited.
contracted too.
All right. So look, 500 times 15 is 7,500 a month on one house. Y'all, Airbnb can't even get you that type of numbers. That's stupid, Tanya.
75.
7,500. Who cares if I pay for water, power? Gas. Who cares if I pay for it? Because my bill gonna be what?
How
five
do you
hundred
how do
dollars
you how
Yeah.
max.
all right,
That's
see, I just see,
$7,000 in
I just went and looked at a house that was probably like 2,600 square feet. It was bedrooms everywhere. Like how do you I got a whole lot of questions, all right?
apparently the people do too. So go.
How do you two-part question? How do you find these people? And my second is how do you find the people that'll pay for these people?
Okay, so and that's all included in the freebie that I have for y'all too, that
You
I'm gonna
got
give
freebies
away.
for my people. Let's
Yes,
go.
yes, I
Wait,
have a
wait.
freebie. Like,
You got freebies for them. Y'all want if y'all want freebies from Tashiana, y'all gotta put freebies in the chat. Y'all gotta put freebies in the
no,
chat. If they don't put freebies in the chat, then you're not dropping no freebies for them. Because nah,
All right. I'm sorry. I just get
you all over it.
excited and
Okay, I'm
go,
listening.
go. Drop the freebie. Okay.
so
Ah,
your first question was, how do you find the people to stay? And then you said, how do you find the people to pay? And then before that, I actually asked, you keep saying member, you keep throwing this word around, what's up with that? So, and then I think we got sidetracked by the 15 beds. The reason why we use the word member is because when you have that amount of people in there, let's just say half of them decide one day they're not going to pay. Who wants to spend time, energy, and resources evicting people? Well, if you're not a tenant, right, you cannot be evicted. And so what you pay us is a membership fee. Again, I am a 501c3 nonprofit, so you are a member. And when you stay in our spaces, you pay a membership fee. And when you pay a membership fee, you stay. If you don't, and we don't just kick people out, obviously, because we understand the circumstances, but the point is for people who want to try it, you're a member. And if you don't pay membership fees, you don't have access to membership perks, privileges, benefits, right? And I'll say this pad split, I don't know if anybody has heard of that. The same legal team who wrote the agreement for pad split is the same legal team who wrote our agreement. So we're making sure that we're in compliance. Like if you try it again, that's how networking and being in the right communities work. So there's that piece. As it relates to finding people, I was telling Ash, go ahead.
First of
You're
all,
so
you
funny.
already know Antonio be on something else. What,
I
Antonio?
am so slow. I just got it. The membership thing.
You just got it?
I just got
Okay.
it. Let me tell you how I got it. It's like a gym membership. If you don't pay your gym membership
You
fees,
can't come to
you
the
don't
gym.
get access to the gym.
Yes, Antonio.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it just hit me.
And you said the membership fee is dope.
It
Exactly.
just like I heard it, but it
Okay.
didn't really make sense.
All right. And I know I may be getting too far in the weeds, but my brain does this and y'all both know this. So I just gotta go there. Are you giving them keys?
No, 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 no. So you'll have like either a house manager, and it depends because we have some people who stay on site who manage, and then we have some people who they'll float to different properties. But none of the members get physical keys. Um, what we do is, I wish I could, maybe I can pull it up in my Amazon cart, but it's just simply a keyed interior lock, right? So they can download an app on their phone, and then there's also just a push code. Only they have access to that code, and then the house manager. And so again, if you don't pay, you don't stay. But also, it's like you don't want to have a whole bunch of keys out there because what if somebody doesn't turn it in before they leave, or somebody makes a duplicate, or now you got to worry about them losing it and all that kind of stuff. So they don't even have a key to the front door. Everybody has their own code, and that way you can see who's coming and going. You guys talked about, oh, well, the utilities. It's like, hello, in the days of Nest, because obviously short-term rental was our jam as well. So we've just taken a lot of those things and made adjustments to over here. So nobody's turning the heat up and down and all of that kind of stuff. Like if you are renovating a property, that's why it's important to renovate it. Make sure you're using energy efficient things like that. Just certain things that are gonna save you time, energy, and money. Obviously, you want to on your insurance. You're gonna get a sewer rider. So because we have, again, let's say we'll use this example. If you were to have 15 people, using these bathrooms, then what? You want to make sure if there's a blockage, it can be fixed and your insurance isn't tripping about it. So those are all the things to think about. But as it relates to finding people, again, getting out there, talking and networking. And some of the first places that you can look into is your Department of Corrections, wherever you are, to kind of see what the need is, what are they saying about reentry housing. Um, I tell people generally, like when it's a one-on-one, like I'll bet you money if you call your local area and say, "Hey, I have housing for reentry. Do you do you happen to need housing for people who are coming home?" I haven't gotten a no, like, no, we don't need housing. We good. I haven't gotten one yet. And I don't care if I'm in Arkansas, Tennessee, Texas, it doesn't matter. I haven't gotten a no yet. So look into the DOCs, and then you can simply go to Google and you can type in, heck, in the day of Chat GPT, you still have to check it. Sometimes it gives good information, but you can simply search your city reentry office and your county reentry office. Everybody doesn't have a city and county, but that's where you can start to find people, right? We have a wait list that we're starting to build because I don't know if I had got cut off in this part where I was saying I just left an event with our probation and parole office. And so people come in and they literally need these things. Yeah, they need employment, but they need housing because what does the system say? The system says, come home, get a job, and get employment. I mean, and get a place to live. But most times people say we don't hire people who have a felony or certain criminal charges, and we certainly don't rent to them, right? So there is a need, and people are looking for an opportunity. And for people to say, well, those kind of people, I don't even know what those kind of people are because I've had executives rent a house we owned on a golf course and had to sue them, right? But generally, people returning home once they've made up, and again, we have like a kind of like an assessment or a checklist to look and see where people's mindset is. But generally, when you give people an opportunity, this kind of opportunity, because they're used to people telling them no, they are going to make sure that they guard and manage this opportunity because they're going to be grateful and appreciative, which is another reason why
Oh my
they're
God.
they're gonna hold people accountable because it's like you're not gonna mess up my situation. You know what I mean? But there are things that we do. We make sure that we have interior cameras in the hallways that we can see all the doors, so there is no this person went in my room or this, none of those types of things. And and again, I'm not an attorney or accountant. I'm just telling you what we do and we know work. You can also put an Alexa in the house. We used to use Noise Aware. Now we use a system called, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but Minute. I'll call it Minute. I don't know what it's called, but it's Minut. And we used to put those, well, we used to put the Noise Aware in our short term rental. And what that does, it would let us know if people were partying or it got too loud before the police or something would be called and all those types of things. But you can put it in the housing there's that's breaking out, or people are just getting too loud, too rowdy, then that alerts you before the police are called, and things like that. Because the reality is, people know that that's the type of housing you're providing in the area. Sometimes they'll be very supportive, but then sometimes they're going to watch you in your property more than they would a regular neighbor, and they might be over there doing meth. But because people know what it is, they're going to put more eyes on you, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, that does make sense. All right, I see some questions in the chat. I feel like some of them you answered. Would you do this in an apartment, or is this only in a house type of environment? What are your thoughts on this?
So you absolutely could do this in an apartment. We actually have a partner in Little Rock, Arkansas. Again, their main thing is alcohol counseling. But what they did was they actually partnered with an apartment builder. And so he allotted an entire building of it. I think it's like a 3 or 4 building property. He allotted an entire building for them to be able to use for people who are in their recovery program. And those are 2 bedrooms, 1 bath places. And even in the 2 bedroom, 1 bath places, guess what they did? They have 2 people in each room. So they have 4 people in one apartment unit to 1 bathroom. And like I said, I feel like that's the max. You don't want to have more than 4 people. And I want to say, what do they charge them? Oh, get this. They charge, and these are people sharing, they charge them $750 per month. $750 per month. Um, and like, I think they said maybe one person had a vehicle, but people don't have transportation. They're not providing them with their food, but it's a nice, like, neat, clean place, and they're sharing a room.
$3,000 for a 2 bedroom, 1 bath. I don't even buy them type of houses.
But I think that's a good example of how no matter what it is, there's an opportunity. Like you can make something out of nothing. But the key thing is you got to get started. You got to do it. You can't make excuses. Like I think that is major because we can say all of these reasons of why no, I don't think that's good. But the numbers alone tell you it's worth it. What are you thinking?
Oh no, Tati. I believe in my least option strategy to the death. But you might be making me a believer in this transitional living. I'm just being honest. I this might be the first time that I think I've heard something that pencils out to make more money to me.
But what was that?
He said this is one of the first times that somebody has penciled out a way to make more money, more cash
More
flow, more
cash
cash
flow.
flow. Yes, more cash flow. So look,
To
I'm gonna
me,
ask
it
this
just makes
question.
sense. Go
It
ahead.
does. It does.
Finish it.
All right. Someone said, "Do you have to have?" Tati's coming back on. When Tati comes back on, we'll ask her that. But yeah, Joy, the numbers are super explosive. Like it is absolutely explosive.
All right, I got a question.
To who? Me?
No, to the people that's watching. All right.
Okay.
So I know Tati, she is being a hell of a mom right now. She coming in and out. But is this something that you guys would want to do an in-person event about to maybe talk about it in
Maybe do a
person with her, do a
workshop.
workshop on this,
Okay.
a 4 hour workshop where we can really dive into it
And have
and
Tashi to
have Tasha
teach.
kind of teach it, and maybe we can do a part where we teach the front end of it of how to rehab it to meet those needs
Okay.
and find that property and rehab it to meet those needs, and then she can talk about how to put it all together on the back end.
Let's see what Tashi thinks because she's back in.
Or I was asking them first.
Okay. I see a most deaf Tashi. The people who are responding in the chat. Um, this is what Antonio. I'm looking at two chats. I'm looking at my YouTube chat. I'm looking at my Facebook group chat. So my eyes all over the board, y'all. Um, what Antonio was asking them was, is this something that they would want to know more info about? Maybe having you
And
come
do a
down to
workshop,
Birmingham,
do
do
a
a
one.
4 hour or 1 day workshop where you can teach them exactly the strategies, the steps that you use to get this done, who to call, what to put in place, what systems, what softwares,
What not to do.
what not to do, exactly what not to do, so that it can help them. Somebody put, I will drive to your location from Columbia for a 4 hour session. Okay.
Hey, listen,
So
y'all,
look,
we about action over here now. We gonna set this thing up now.
first of all, Tashi, is that okay with you? Is that something you would be interested
Absolutely. Yes,
in? Okay.
because we
So,
When
need it. I'm
so
telling
let me
y'all,
say this.
this is a
We
space
need it.
consistently more than supply. You can't beat that.
Absolutely.
There's,
Absolutely. Now what
I don't know if you can
when
hear
the
me,
next
but
time
I
you
don't know
coming to
why
see
my
your mama,
reception's
Tati?
ghetto.
Tashi, when is the next time you planning on coming to Birmingham?
Whenever you look, y'all just tell me. You know me. You know me. We just pulled up on you like, hey, we here. Let's kick it.
Okay. So this is what I do. So make sure that you put freebie in the chat. And what I do is I'll make sure that you get on that list. When we set a date, we'll make sure we send that date out to you guys directly so that y'all can be the first ones to get access to it. Maybe we'll rent a room at the city club, maybe get a little food, talk a little bit, learn a little bit. I want to say drink a little bit, but we
We're
can't
not
drink in the
drinking
city
this
club.
club. Yeah,
Well, we can drink in the city
we
club.
can. We can have some.
Drink a little bit.
We can,
All right, I ain't gonna promote the drinking part.
because you're not gonna buy it. It's just that simple. You know,
Guys, I got so many like thoughts, ideas. Like my brain is running 1,000 miles per hour
Marcus' brain is running 1,000 miles per
talking
hour
to
with
you.
this question.
So what Marcus said? I'm okay. So I know that we told you 45 minutes, so we got a few minutes left because you are being money. So how about we do two more questions and let her go?
Okay. So Marcus said, "Do you usually look for places close to a bus stop? Also, do the neighbors ever get upset once they find out what the property is being used for?"
So yes, and yes, it has happened. I don't know if you were on Marcus when I explained about a gentleman who got upset when he learned, like this is who's gonna be saying it in my neighborhood. But through relationship and communication, hey, if you have any issues, you can call. Being personable, he actually ended up being the person grilling for like a neighborhood cookout that we had, and it just built community because in these days, how many people really know their neighbors, right? And so I
Right.
think that helped to remove the barrier. So there's that piece. And then yes, towards a bus line, but in some of the areas that we're in, there's not a good bus system. So we also might look for places near like probation and parole offices or reentry centers. So that way it makes it easy for people to, get to where they need to go. Because right now we have almost 4 properties that is like in walking distance of one of the reentry centers here because this particular location does not have a robust transportation system. And I tell people that at the grocery store and
Oh,
someone who
Tasha, you
has
breaking up.
transportation service or something like that, and they're willing to partner. Even still, I don't know what's happening. I guess it's just like save it for in person. I don't know what
Okay.
happened.
Can I
I'm
get my
just sitting
last
here.
question?
Even now,
Yeah, here you go now, Tati. All right. This is last question, all right? And I know they got some questions in there, and you are in the REI Code group, so you might can go back and answer some of these questions a little later. I have no problem with that. Um,
okay.
I'm not the most polished person, so this might not be a politically correct question, but I'm gonna ask it because I know the people who watching it thinking.
Really?
All right, so after I asked this question, if you were thinking the same thing I was thinking, put a B in the chat. For the
Oh
re-entry
Lord,
part,
I'm
listen.
You scared too, huh?
For the
yeah.
re-entry part for the people from prison, are there certain offenses that you don't allow into your house, or is there a level of crime that they committed that automatically get disqualified? Is there how do you screen that situation?
Okay, so for us personally, I don't house sex offenders.
Wait,
Oh, hold on, you
hold
breaking
up.
up.
Wait, Tasha, wait. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you again. Ah,
Oh, she gonna go out on my question.
that's what everybody's thinking. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that was a good one. You
I
need
know I hadn't
permits or
got to it. And
licenses.
then permits, insurance, license. Those have been some of the questions being dropped in the chat. I'm gonna get to you. Um,
Oh my
okay.
God.
So I see you guys dropping freebie. I am going to capture everyone that drops freebie. I'm gonna figure out a date with Tashiana so that we can get her to Birmingham. I may even do I may even do it where we live stream it out to a few people who can't get to the area, but it depends on how many people we actually get in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I can see it. Get a smaller room. Not a smaller room, but get a room.
I mean, it's only a couple. All the rooms the same
I ain't
size.
about the same
Yeah,
size.
they all the same size.
Okay.
And then we can do that workshop and
If
ask
they're
that
not
question.
in Birmingham, we can always live stream it for them.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm with it, bro. Let's go. I'm excited, y'all. Listen, I'm gonna do one. I got a couple of properties that I ain't doing nothing with.
That would really
That
be
would
ideal
really do
for
good.
He's serious, y'all. We do got a couple of properties we do nothing with that would be really
I'm gonna
good
tell
from
you
a
some of the
cash
stuff
flow.
that I would probably think of doing with it.
Okay, you're not telling me. You're telling
I'm
them to
just telling. I mean,
everybody.
you hear, I
Okay, come on.
mean, they hear my brain work all the time.
Okay,
But like, maybe if I put a vending machine in that baby, charge them for snacks. That kind of can be
I'm picking
another
up what you putting
another
down.
income stream. All that'll be picking up. Um, you maybe even charge for washing and dryer.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I can see that being another income stream.
That's my girl. She say, "Can I partner with you?" Come on, come
Listen,
on.
that might be something though. If I provide the house,
Uh-huh.
somebody else handles the other part of it, and we partner on it. We making buku cash flow.
That I think that would be a really good idea. I think that would be
Somebody
a really good
manages
idea.
it. I provide the house. They manage it. They manage the tenants. We recruit them and do what we got to do. Okay, y'all. And when I do it, don't say I was. He was just talking. Now I'm gonna do that.
All right, Tashi, I just added you on. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Nope.
Bro, you got so many comments on this.
I'm trying to get to him. Tashi, I can see you really good. Okay, as Tashi gets back on, I'm gonna message her on the side.
Bro, I can't be done, bro. Like, we just gotta set the date to get her back, bro. We gotta get her in person.
We got to get her in person.
Bro, I'm gonna be the king of re. Can I be re-entry king?
Can you be the re-entry king? It's nuts.
Bro,
Okay, let me see. Let's see if Tashi's ready. Tashi, you hear me now?
Yes, I don't know what this is. This is terrible. Um,
That's
but you said,
okay.
are there people
it's all
we
right.
don't have? Right? You asked me, yeah,
Yes.
that's what you was asking me. So yes, I was saying we personally don't house sex offenders, and that is because we might be near a school or a church or places they can't be. But again, we have a direct partner to refer people who call into our organization and need that type of housing. And then we also don't house arsonists, and that's just because of like for insurance purposes and things like that. But outside of that, I mean, there's nobody that I personally say no to. But and that's part of like doing the kind of like the research, like who do you want to house, and this is so our organization is called Getting Adjusted After Prison. We call it GAP for short because we help fill in the gap, right? So that's what I tell people: look for the gaps in reentry, and then fill that. So there's almost always more resources available for men than women when it comes to housing, even though there's a shortage for men. So when you call these places that I told you to call and ask this question, ask them, well, what are some of the barriers when it comes to houses that people are facing? And those organizations, they'll tell you that. They might say, oh, well, I don't know. I mean, just think of something like you can't have more than, four people in this type of property. And so we don't really have people who have larger properties, being willing to rent. I mean, it just depends on, your particular state, the municipality, what they say. Because there's some places that say, you can't have more than four unrelated adults living in a place. Well, that goes into what your risk threshold is. You know what I mean? And again, relationship building, because when you're solving a problem and you're doing it efficiently, you're more likely to get a yes or people to say, hey, especially people in a position to say, hey, how can we help you duplicate this? And then you'll get some people who will just downright not like that you're solving a problem. So they might try to put up barriers. I mean, you have to be ready for that. And so it's not always an easy process, but it is very simple.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right.
Listen, Tasha, you can go in and look for yourself, but the group is fired up. Like they going crazy. Joy is being creative. She said, "This for you, Tanya.
What she said. Say what? I can only imagine what one of my
I
people
am
said to
gonna
me.
mess this up
I can
while I'm saying
only
this because
imagine what
it
my
just
people just
tickles
said
me."
to me.
Joy said, "Serial re-entrepreneur,
What the who? How? Serial re-entry.
re-entrepreneur.
Mm.
Come on, Joy, in your bag. Come on, Joy.
That's right, bit Joy.
All right.
I,
Last thing, because a couple of people wrote this. Is there a special type of insurance, and do you need any license to do this?
Okay, so I don't want to say that there's a special type of insurance, but we do have a couple of insurance providers that we're looking to switch over to. And I don't like to say until we actually try it, right? So I just have a relationship with State Farm. Look, they not the best, but I have a relationship with them. So it's like they know what I do. Um, but I'll know here probably within the next couple of weeks. We're having some conversations because again, for relationship, we were recommended one by Pad Split as well as another woman we have a relationship with who does sober living, right? So that's another like nuance from reentry. So there was that question. So I guess yes and no. You can definitely get started without having specialty insurance. And the other piece is, but and you also, I'll say this, you also want to be honest with your insurance company about what you're doing because if you have a loss and you just told them, you know, you're just renting it out and they found out there's 11 people up in there, you might not be covered. So you know what I mean? Like you do want to be transparent. That there's that piece. And then the other piece as it relates to a license, not per se, right? Because you have regulated and unregulated housing, meaning if you're just a regular landlord and you're not officially on the Department of Corrections website as one of their transitional housing, you just know as an owner you're willing to say yes. People who have a background, then you just need to be operating, you know, under the legality of whatever it takes to be, you know, a landlord or property owner in your state. But you definitely can do this without the Department of Corrections putting you on their official list. And in fact, I recommend that even if you do transition to be on a DLC list where they're telling people while they're still incarcerated, hey, this is a place that you can go. Because we do get some people who call us who are still incarcerated, but it's because a family or friend referred them, or in certain prisons where we do have relationships with counselors. But I say even before you were to get on an official DLC transitional house, try it this way if it's something you want to do because you know DLC can they can really rule with an iron fist. And so I tell people that part ain't for the faint of heart, but this is something I'm passionate about. So I don't have a problem telling them like, you're not coming up in here. This is not an extension of prison, but there are certain standards you have to conform to, and that's different by different states. You know,
Mm-hmm.
some are very specific, like you have to have a transitional program. So that's also something that you don't necessarily have to worry about if you are doing it like as an unlicensed transitional house. It's just something that you're setting up, you know, because you want to serve, you want to make, like I like to say, you want to have purpose and profit, okay, income and impact. You know what I'm saying? You want to make a bag and make a difference, then you can definitely start off, you know, that way.
Come on, make a bag and make a difference.
make a bag and make a difference.
I might
Tasha,
put
you
that on a
got him.
t-shirt.
That's a good t-shirt. You got him overwhelmed over here.
I
I see
am.
how his brain is working. This is ridiculous. Okay. Um,
We're gonna set this date in the next 24 hours of Birmingham.
Yeah, let's do it.
we're gonna call and find out what days they have available. That's what we're gonna do.
Well, you know what? The other thing I was gonna say, I don't know, maybe we could talk about this offline. You know, I get some perks too with my Marriott status. So depending on, you know, like the amount of people we have, you know, I can get Marriott, see what they can do for us too.
Love it, love it.
So look, that's your homework.
How much notice do you need? Do you need like a 20-day or 40-day notice or 60-day notice?
You could probably give me anywhere between a, I don't know. This is terrible. Probably 20 to 40 days. I
I
mean,
feel like a 5 day notice. How you pop up on
yeah,
us?
because I'm like, yeah, that's why I was like,
30-day notice.
because
Meet in the middle. 30
for
day
the most
notice.
part, it's like I know the things I have to do, like for the rest of the year. You know what I mean? Like, can't move that. I can move this. But
Okay,
are
okay.
y'all going to Nashville?
We're not going to
We're not
Nashville.
going to Nashville. Don't mention that.
We're on the borderline. Some days I get a maybe from them.
Yes, me
First
too.
and simple.
So I
First,
had said yes, but I want to change my mind.
That's real.
uh, we're gonna get out of here, Tati. Thank you so much.
Yes, Tashi.
I know just being a person that does real estate coaching, like there's so many more levels to it. We are only like talking surface level things today. Um, but I definitely want to get you in a room to really dive into it a little bit more. Maybe go through the contracts a little bit more. Like I was saying, talk about the things not to do.
What not to do.
Um, and maybe even get us a project going in Birmingham.
That's exciting. Okay, okay. We can
So
do
that
that.
last thing you said,
He said getting the project in Birmingham.
oh
Starting one
yeah,
in Birmingham.
absolutely.
Let's do
But
it.
Uh,
especially, I have like I don't know if you guys know this, but I have like some gurus who are helping me with like the financing piece of things. So, like securing financing, I think they're called, man, what are they called? I think it's like bid knows funding. I'm not sure. Maybe you heard of them. But
let's
I
go.
love you, Tashi.
so yeah, it's
Shout
like
out to getting those funding, man. Tap in.
Absolutely.
For
Absolutely.
your
Oh,
real estate business funding needs, they can definitely fund this
I'm
thing
just
and get it
saying,
taken care of. Let's
oh my
go.
gosh.
Yeah, we have to get out of here. Let Tati go. We have given her too long. Thank you for dropping the jewels
Yes,
that you have
thank you,
dropped in
love.
us. We're gonna set this day to get this flyer out ASAP.
All right, be on the lookout, y'all. Love
Make sure
you.
you drop freebie in the chat so
Yes.
that you can get the freebie that she has. Also, you can be on that list to get the invite when we set up the
Once
event.
we mark the date, absolutely. Love you guys. Have an amazing, amazing day. Peace.